Hello and welcome to my house tour. Today we are touring this Victorian mansion I built. I built a lot maybe a Halloween or two ago, and for the Reaper Rewards challenge I just rebuilt the house into this Victorian style house. I put my main sim on it. It's built in Forgotten Hollow in the vampire pack. When I rebuilt it, I replaced the whole yard with debug items to help with processing, and it's supposed to look like a Victorian house, although compared to actual Victorian houses, I don't know how much it actually resembles one. I think the sides do, not so much the front, but I'll deal with it. As for lot traits, I'm using my paranormal stuff pack for the first time and making this a haunted house residential. I don't know how that's going to affect the Reaper rewards, but we'll find out. I'm also putting the creepy crawlies lot challenge, because I thought it was fitting. The haunted house lot trait comes with ghostly assistant, specters, which are little ghosts that could be nice or evil, haunted treasures, which I don't really know what that means, paranormal activity where your sim gets scared. I have a scare seeker trait, so I don't know how that's going to affect it. Cursed objects where random things could show up. It's alive. I don't know what that means either. Be brave, where each night gives you reward points. Aspiring investigators welcome, that's a whole career that comes with the pack, and she's coming for you, whatever that means. I hope I make it to the end of this Reaper Rewards alive. So out in the front of the house I have my main sim called Andy. He's been in other videos if you haven't seen them. He's already got a lot of skill points, so I like to use him for pretty much everything, and I think he's going to be helpful. In the front yard, I have a little graveyard made of debug graves. There's a broken fountain, and over here there's a dumpster from Eco Living and some more debug objects. There is a whole yard where I can plant things, which I think will be good for the Reaper rewards. They're also kind of raised into these hills that I just think is cute, and in the back there's like a hangout area where I think local teens would hang out at the deserted local haunted house. I have this lot uploaded to the gallery. I will link it down below. I have a furnished and an unfurnished version. This is how many packs the furnished version comes with. So I do have less packs in the unfurnished version, and there's a whole description I've added if you want to read it. Just about a little bit of lore for the lot. Anyways, on to the actual house tour. I'll start on the ground floor and do a first-person camera. This is the front porch. I used mainly some base game items for this. The wallpaper is from Island Living though. I've added a telescope to the porch from the Werewolves pack just for funsies, and on the front porch I also have a spooky speaker that plays music. I have to say I don't know how spooky this music really is. It doesn't sound that spooky, but I'll deal with it. They've added it into the menu options that you can mark something that is safe for streaming. I don't know if that's the same for videos that are uploaded on YouTube. I would assume so hopefully there's no problems with that. As for the side porch, there is a little TV for teenagers to watch on the balcony when they're hanging out, and that's pretty much it for the outside. On the other side there's a basement that just has a weather machine so I can make it stormy and spooky for streaming, and then a whole bunch of chimneys to make a whole bunch of fog that you've seen in the beginning of the video. The back of the house that I think resembles a Victorian house way more has a lot of bits that jut out and is pretty hidden behind the trees, and I really like the side of the house as well. On to the interior ground level. I will go into first person for this. The inside I wanted to be really ugly, to just put it frankly. I wanted to be like a grandma threw up all over the place, because that's what the paranormal pack kind of gives. This painting, just ignore it, it's glitching. I don't know why that happens so often with paintings in The Sims. It's supposed to look like this. There's also a spooky speaker in there as well. And the two paintings on the either side have a death flower on one and potions on the other. And I thought that was very fitting for the Reaper rewards. On the other side, there is another painting from the Werewolf pack, and most of the items in this room are from either the Spellcasters or the Vampire pack. Onto this room to the right, it's the living room, and this one is really giving granny. It's so ugly and I love it. There's a lot of different colors and things that barely match, and there's also a pipe organ in the corner. That way your sim can play some spooky music of their own. On the other side there is the dining room, just as hideous as the living room, and it's so dark and gloomy outside those windows. You can see straight through the kitchen and the side door. And on the other side of the wall there is a bar. It's one of the half bars from the Swatch updates, and through this door there is a powder room that is equally as ugly. I love this wallpaper. And I kind of makeshift a sink right there. I nestled it between two countertops and put a shelf and a mirror behind it, and on the other side there's a picture of someone who can watch you poop. Only comfort in this house. On to the kitchen. The kitchen is one of my favorite parts, I think. It's mainly the cottage living pack. I really love the wallpaper in here, and the counters are great. There's so many options of upper cabinets. I also think it looks really creepy when you look straight down to the breakfast room. All the appliances are from cottage living as well. I really like this room with the lights turned off and on a rainy day. The breakfast nook gives just like the perfect creepy little vibe. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the wallpaper. I love using this wallpaper. It's so hideous. And the plates on the wall just really adds to the whole thing, and then you make your way all the way back to the front of the house. Here's what it looks like from a bird's eye view if you're interested. I really like layouts that circle around and have a second door for the back. Now heading up to the second floor, which I'm going to turn the lights on for. This is the upper landing where the stairs end, and here is a little nook I created. I really like those Happy Home Rewards event pillows because you can really hide the ugly pink swatch on the pillows for that couch. I also really love this little clock. It's also from Cottage Living. Over here is a teenager's room. It's really werewolf themed if you can't tell. Obviously my sim does not have a child, but this is such a small room I thought it would be good for a teenager's room. There's also the Happy Home Rewards event dartboard in there. And it was really hard to figure out what to do with the circular area. I put some vampire curtains and then an easel, and I found these swatches of really earthy pictures that I really liked. There was only one room on the third floor, so I put a ladder right here, and I thought that would be appropriate for a teenager's room. Now, it's supposed to be like the teenager grew out of stuff and they store it in the attic space, but if you want, you could trap a toddler up here. I don't care. I don't know if toddlers can use ladders. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. I don't know. Do what you will. I don't care for children of The Sims. So, moving on. There is a bathroom on this side. It's also hideous, but it gets the job done, and I think ugly bathrooms are so funny. I don't know why. This room over here is the master bedroom. I was really trying to find a place where I could use that rug. I don't know if it works in here, but it's going in here. There are a lot of items in this room that are a bit questionable, like the side tables and the hutch and everything, but I was really trying to use some items that I typically don't use. The bathroom I quite like. It's much smaller than the other bathroom for being the master bathroom, but I like the vibes in here. And the final room is the office, and this is where I'm keeping the Seance table. One of the requirements for the Reaper Rewards is to purchase a Seance table. The Seance table came with a paranormal stuff pack, so I don't know if now there is a Seance table that's available for base game or not. Everything else in this room is pretty office-y. I quite like it. This is the floor pan from a bird's eye view if you want to see that. And here's what it looks like live mode at night with the fog and everything. Ignore the mailman, he's glitching out, I don't know how to get rid of him. I moved the mailbox, I shift clicked him, I've given up, I'm going to kill him next. Catch you next time.